This is hilarious. So I do love the meme now about Mark Cuban is turning into Rachel Maddow. I enjoy that quite a bit. From Defiant tells Mark Cuban on the Biden administration letting in over 10 million illegal immigrants. Apparently, he thought that the Biden administration's hearts were too big. They were just too big not to let in 10 million people, which is probably more like 20 million people, including the tens of 13,000 murderers. Is he sure it's not myocarditis? It could be. Let's see.
So when it comes to criminalizing and not criminalizing crossing the border, I mean, that is just so stark, but you view that as an evolution.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's my opinion. I'm not speaking for the campaign with this. Yeah. I thought their hearts were too big when Joe came into office, that they didn't know how many people would cross the border, and it got away from them. But they figured it out. They learned.
Well, that's why they got rid of, by executive order, all of Trump's border policies. Because they didn't expect it to be bad. They didn't expect a bunch of people to cross the border immediately once they made it easy for them and, in fact, facilitated the crossing. They had no idea that would happen just because they told them to cross the border, literally, Biden did, and because they got rid of the means of stopping them from crossing the border. They had no idea so many people would cross. It's just that their hearts were too big. Again, maybe myocarditis, perhaps, but it's hard to believe that anybody would get out in public and spew this drivel. What do they have on him? Hearts were too big? What do they have on Mark Cuban? It's got to be something big. It's got to be something really bad. Epstein, Diddy tapes. Got to be something, right? Maybe he's a furry, right? He's on those tapes. Maybe he was being a furry at the Diddy parties. Who knows? But there's got to be something really bad. Nothing else explains this. There's something terrible happening. It doesn't seem like he's acting on his own accord here. This all feels like coerced to me. I mean, look at what they've done to this man. Look at what they've done to him. Look at what they've done to this man. He is literally turning into Rachel Maddow before our eyes. Now, soon he'll have his own MSNBC show. I don't know what's happening. Is there some new COVID jab that we don't know about that gets your body to turn you into, a far left lesbian? Something's happening. I don't know what's happened to Mark Cuban, but it's bad. Bad. He's a cautionary tale. Don't turn into that. Jesus, I don't care how much money you have. Don't become that. Well, I mean, the thing is, how could anybody believe that the intention wasn't to flood the country with people? It's not that their hearts were too big. If their hearts were too big, they would have said, oh, you know what? There's no way we can possibly process all these people properly, find out who they are, find out who's criminals or not. And they're going to hurt a bunch of Americans. If they had big hearts that weren't just from myocarditis, maybe they would have thought about that. No, the obvious intention was to flood the country, flood the United States with illegal immigrants. What else did they want to do? Let's see, streamline citizenship for undocumented migrants. It all kind of feels like there's a plan there, right? And it's not, the plan didn't include stopping literally anybody from getting across the border. Let's see, the Biden administration literally sued Texas to stop them from putting up border barriers to prevent people from crossing. It is clear that the Biden-Harris administration did not fail at the border. They succeeded beyond their wildest dreams because success meant as many people crossing as possible that they could then streamline citizenship for to get them voting. I think as well, I will say as well, that it's also to put downward pressure on wages, particularly low-skilled wages or manual labor. So there's also that. But yeah, they're doing something to Mark Cuban. And one of the side effects is that you turn into a far-left lesbian. So I feel sorry for him, to be honest. I think it's quite sad. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.